I'm good. How are you? So
Awesome.
funny. You were both on my mind this morning. And I was thinking, oh, they're
Ah,
having their call. And then I was just about to sit down and start writing my program. And I was like, oh, and then I looked at my text messages and there you go.
You're on the call.
I'm on the call. Look at that. Hold on. Let me think
Awesome.
about $1 billion. If I can manifest that easily.
Oh my God.
Well,
and you can.
I know. I was thinking about you, Ava, and your I could hear your words in just a short time we had that conversation together at the Mac.
Mhm.
And I thought about, I've had some choices that have come up this week, and I thought a lot about like, what am I manifesting here? What am I really trying? What is my end goal? And so your words came up a lot for me where they were clear in understanding what I want and what the universe is trying to tell me or what it's giving me. And is it aligned? And so it was a really fabulous way to kind of let go and give it up and just say, okay, God, you steer me in what is best or for me, what is in my highest interest. And it was perfect because the opportunity that I thought was presenting itself was a good thing. And then I realized, oh no, it's not. It's not about that at all. It's about me not wanting to show up and do my own work. And that would be an easy sidestep. And so with that, I sat down and I had taken a program that I wrote and I put it in with the help of a friend, put it into AI, and it like took it and diluted it to a point that I couldn't find myself in there anymore.
Wow.
So I sat down and for the last 2 days and I just rewrote the entire, not the whole thing. I'm still only on like page 5. And I'm sure I can kind of dilute it and break it up a bit, but I realized is that it was just free flowing from me. And that was what I was supposed to teach. That was what I was supposed to get out there. So it was pretty awesome.
I'm really aiming for synchronicity and authenticity with these calls. And a lot of times it's so random who's coming on the call. We start talking with Kurt with the morning coffee. I hope you have the morning coffee too.
I am not messing around.
and and each and every episode,
Oh,
the
Mhm.
topics that are coming up are something that was in your mind, in everybody's mind. It was like in the air at that time. It was important for that moment. And it's so fascinating that you hop on and then you describe exactly what I'm aiming for. And you didn't know what we are about, right? Like you didn't like
No,
just
but
10
I
minutes
I
prior.
heard you 2 days ago. I heard you in my mind, and I saw a video that you had uploaded this week, and then of course Kurt was on my mind, having connected with him, and I thought, oh, isn't that perfect? So it's learning to trust, right? It's learning.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie last night, some random thing, and every next step I knew, and I was like, well, isn't that interesting? If we get out of our own way and we listen to what spirit or your higher self or the universe is, the information that they're giving you, it's always aligned with what's best for you,
mm.
and yeah,
And
so
the
it's
other funny thing is that right before we started this call, I was on the phone with the lady that was a little bit struggling with her own business because she's not as excited about it. And and I just told her the story when I got a little um, out of my massage practice in a way that I was expecting it to be there. I was expecting it to have a certain amount of money and that it serves me. And I kind of faded out of being in it or enjoying it that much. And exactly what you're saying, that your program kind of become a different personality, and then you're not
yes,
as laying. It's not. It's like I'm doing it, but I'm
Mm.
not in it.
yes, and then you lose the passion, which tells you you're no
Exactly.
longer aligned, which tells the universe we're not going to help you, this isn't what you want.
Yeah. and then you need to and then you and kind of what came through this, like you take a look at what is really happening, because there might be either a definition that is not clear within what you're doing,
Mhm.
or maybe when you started it, you had a different motivation when you started it, and why you shifted, there is a different motivation. It's you either need to realign yourself again, or there is a different thing that you need to do, and you have to be okay with either.
Mm.
Exactly what you said when you came on.
The flow, right? Letting go. Letting
So
go. And when we come to that crossroad where we don't know what's in our best interest, and I swear, I feel like the universe, the minute we get closer to our real destiny, to putting out there what we know is our purpose and what the universe is calling us to do. It's like it's every little other thing shows up and goes, well, what about this? Oh, what about this? Or what about this? And it's like it's a choice for you to make and go, no, those are just distractions. What I really need to do is this. And the minute you do that, you just relax into it. And it was like, I I was always an excellent writer. And in the last 6 months that I've been trying to write this course, I have doubted myself. I have looked at myself as an imposter. Like I went through this whole thing and I'm like, why am I? But if I can sit here and speak about it, it flows because I'm letting the energy to come through me. But the minute I change and think, oh, I need this help or I need that help or I don't know how to do it or that it doesn't work. It throws me off my game. And then the indication, and I think this is something you and I spoke about, and I know Kurt and I always speak about this, the indication that you're no longer excited about what you're doing tells you, stop, stop.
exactly,
You're no longer aligned.
like
And the universe
music
too.
stop, cut.
Change of scenery. Yes, yes.
It's basically, I think, exactly what you teach to people, how to stay on spot with what,
Yes.
right?
Yes. How to know yourself.
And it's and the genius thing is in it, because like I noticed that if there is a subject from every aspect, if it can be true, that's the main point of it, and that's the paradox of it, that you're creating a program that for people to assist people, but you're going through your own program while you're creating it, so you are on both ends at the same time. There is the paradox of it. Therefore,
Definitely.
it can create the whole value of contract and expansion and the whole thing. It can create the whole formula, and that's what you go through while you're doing it, and that's why it's going to work for people, because you put every aspect in it, the main essence of it. It's freaking genius.
It is. And you always end up with the gift of healing yourself. Everything, every
Or
experience.
realizing that you haven't been sick.
Well, no, I mean to say like in like
Yeah,
the healing for me is more like, oh, have I been disconnected?
I,
Have
I
I not trusted?
I'm jumping on words because I don't think that anybody needs to hear. I like the word more realign or align.
Mhm. Mhm.
I For some reason I jump on words, so I'm sorry about it.
No, don't
But
be.
I believe that we assist each other. I believe that we are realigning, and there is no such a thing as sick or
Mhm.
need to heal. You don't
Mhm.
need to realign to the current things, to pay attention, to be aware, to observation time. That's what I would call the healing
I
observation
like
time,
that.
and then realign with things. Because it's when I say I'm healing, I admit that I'm sick. So
I
I
like that. Mhm.
already look things from a point of view that is way lower than it could be.
100%. Your body follows the biology of your body follows your mind. So the minute you tell yourself there's something wrong with me, the minute your body starts to feel it, the minute your body starts to break down. It's amazing. People can go for years of not knowing if there's an illness in their body. And the minute they know about it, they completely shift. So I totally agree with that. I like that. And it's just, ultimately language is our own, especially our own self-talk. It's dominant to getting to where you want to be in this world, which is the best version of yourself, right?
Mr.
Yeah,
Soul. What's
Sorry.
interesting is before you got on, I was talking to Ava about how the first call was to this guy in LA with cancer. Last week was this other Japanese girl that had cancer. They chose to not do any protocols,
Mhm.
and they're cancer free.
Amazing, isn't it?
And I was talking about a friend of ours was diagnosed with cancer. Gotta turn off these notifications. So a friend of ours was diagnosed with cancer. She's doing the protocols and she's looking outside of herself, right? Like outside medicine. She's seeing this healer guy, putting all her energy into this healer guy. And the guy goes, "You don't have cancer." And he actually shames her and says, "If you don't believe your teacher, then I'm going to give you what you want." And so she's dealing with these things. These other two people, they went inside and it shifted for them. And then here we have a friend who's dealing with it, but she hasn't really gone inside. She's relying on some outside, um, something outside herself, either the Western approach or going to see a healer, an energy healer, trying to get healing that way.
Somebody fix it for me.
Exactly. Rather than going inside.
But
I
doesn't
mean,
that
it was,
really come down to self-trust? Doesn't that come down to knowing that you're that when something comes up, if we can set aside the illness and we can look deep within us and realize that something on our journey blocked us, that energy got blocked. And I see a lot of women with lung cancer, breast cancer, I mean men as well, but mostly women, where they have these emotions that they can't release, whether it's through their throat, not being able to speak their truth, or their heart where they're wounded. And so they keep these energies blocked. So if they would take the time, and I love what you said, not looking outside of yourself, if they would take the time to look within and ask, what is this? What is this trying to tell me? In a calm and trustful manner, that your body is intelligent enough to heal itself. Once you release the lesson, or you can identify what it is that you needed to see or learn, and no longer put yourself in that situation and allow the energies to flow, your body will actually take care of itself. Nature is we're designed, perfectly. So, and we're not designed to be sick. The body, this is something Western medicine has taught us, like the body's
Yeah.
old, that just happens. And it's such bullshit. I listen to that. I think, oh my God, another doctor has failed. Okay, it's a system, but it's right. Can we trust ourselves? Can we actually bring light into our own body and ask, heal me, or make me
I
whole, make me well?
look inside.
Oh, yes.
People don't want to look inside.
Okay, so
People,
because how exactly how do you do that? How do you do the look inside when you're not even aware that there is an emotion inside that's causing things because you got used to it?
people need to slow down enough
Mm.
where they can go inside. Because usually, people are so distracted that going inside is like really difficult. It's hard to really look inside because you're just so distracted. And like you said, to be brutally honest with yourself, to really feel what's going on. That's difficult for people.
So I go home and sit down. What's next?
Many years ago, I was teaching at one of those big resorts in Wailea, and so I taught some Tai Chi and I taught meditation and things like that. And if you don't have a meditation practice, there's no way you're going to be able to sit for an hour. So I broke the
Illness.
class up. Um, I broke the class up so that at the end of the class, I'd get people still enough where they could sit. This is one of those high-end luxury resorts, so people came in. So I'm starting with standing, right? Standing Qigong, just stand, relax, let go, drop your weight and energy. Just feel into your body. And this experience in this class just repeated over and over again. So I give the instructions about standing. So people are just standing there, breathing, just relaxing. And I swear, less than 30 seconds in, people start fidgeting. They start looking around the room. They're looking at their watch. They're picking up their water. And I would have people walk out because they're unable. I mean, their nervous system is just so overstimulated that just trying to get still is too much. The nervous system is just so jacked up.
Requiring dopamine constantly
Yeah,
to look for regulation when it really comes from within. Stillness is extremely difficult, and it's really the only way that we can quiet the mind long enough to be able to hear.
and that's an extreme example of what Ava's asking.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go into it a little bit because
Okay.
usually that's where people get stuck. It's like I want to
Yes,
change, I wanna know, I want to change, but and they
right,
say let go, they say do this, do that, but how? They never
right,
talk about how.
right.
So
So so people run,
yeah,
they run away. They look for different things outside themselves. I'm gonna go
or I'll
see
do it next week.
doctor. I'm gonna take this supplement. I'm gonna sign up for a yoga class. I'm gonna, you know, whatever.
So
What
actually
I
like a
could
practice like yoga, a practice like beach walking, a practice that you have that will condition you to be able to be ready to completely sit, or even taking small blocks at a time, maybe 3 minutes, where you can just sit without a phone, without distraction. I see people walking on the beach with their phones, with their ear, with the headpieces in. So nobody allows the quiet, because it actually is, it brings up emotion.
and I
So
know
maybe
some
slow.
about how you train yourself to get slow. First, if you're vibrating and like and you
Mhm.
cannot just stop, but you can do something that start uh, training you to do that when you sit
Mhm.
down and start giving you the question, where do I feel? Where do I feel that shitty feeling? Because I just feel that I have a bad mood. But just first, just put your awareness of where do I feel it? Do I feel it inside my body? Do I feel it on my body? Do I feel it around my body? Look, like making a game out of it, kind of that.
Like that.
Okay, let's investigate. Where do I feel it when I feel that anger? Oh, it's here, or oh, it's here. And when you have that, because so if you start uh, working with it first in a way that you just pay attention to learn to pay attention and how when you
100%.
get there when you grab it when you okay I feel it here uh does it have an edge? Yes, okay, it has an edge. Does it have a color? Does it say something to me? And then you stop a little bit. No, it's not, or I cannot hear it. Why can I not hear it? Oh, there I probably have a denial or a rejection. When I cannot hear something, when I cannot say something, I have a rejection. And then like I would like to put together a little frame dialogue for that like you can start with, for example, that to state that okay, I dissolve all the rejection and denial so I can understand what's going on, and then just feel if something happens. If not, then what to bring in. So
Mm,
like not forcing something, but just keep giving questions and observe what's happening, and then don't stop there. Oh, it doesn't work for me. Like just don't take no for an
Yes.
answer. If there is no answer this way, I'm gonna go that way. Who is it linked with? Is it mine? During my practice, there was always a key question that kind of put things to place.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the key question is there even a question? Or the
mm,
question was, what is the right question?
What am I
So
seeking?
kind of go beyond of
right.
why I sat down,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because the root is always somewhere completely different place than what I actually want to solve, and to learn to allow ourselves to go beyond and play with it. Because if I put down that I force myself to relax when I don't even know what it means, then it
Very difficult.
energetically it's another forcing thing that got me there.
Slow yoga, yin
Right.
yoga, where you're
Yeah.
not, where you're actually, or a walking meditation where you're actually not necessarily in an active state. You're not sedentary, but you're not in an active state. So you can actually be able to come back. There's an awareness of the mind-body connection where you're now concerned with how not, and the mind will tell you to move faster, do more. But if you can slow down, but yet still be in the movement where you become aware, oh, what is that? You know, what am I feeling? What's the resistance that's coming up for me? And really sitting with it. And even the questions that you were mentioning, Ava, being able to spend a block of time, maybe even an entire minute or two, where we let the answers come. And if we can't find them at that moment, then we come back to it. Because maybe later on it'll come. It doesn't always come in the form of instant answer, like we're so
Yes,
accustomed
exactly.
to
Yeah.
today. It's
Mm.
it's putting the question out there and then just letting it go. One of my favorite teachings is Neville Goddard, and he teaches how to actually get your answers from your divine, from the higher beings, is even your higher self, is where you're putting it out there and you're asking without attachment or instantaneous answers that you need, that you're going to, if that doesn't answer me, I'll ask somebody else or see what everybody else is doing, where you could just say, okay, I put it out there. It will come. You could run into a neighbor and they'll be able to speak about something. Like you said, you called me up and this is what we're talking about. Because the universe put it out there. I could hear as I was getting my tea this morning, all I could think about is, oh, Kurt's on the call with Ava. It's morning and Sunday morning. And I thought, oh, how interesting. And then all of a sudden I got the text. So there's already a higher, you know, the consciousness that is bringing all of us together. So once we put it out there, and we don't have to identify specific things, meaning why is this happening to me, rather than slowing down, like Kurt says. And he's a great teacher for me to slow down
Yes.
and
Yes.
be
Yes.
in that place. Because I'm from New York originally, and we speak 100 miles an hour. And some days I want to wind Kurt up. He speaks faster. So we can talk about 20 more things. And then I realized this is a great practice for me to be able to feel my body. And there are times for active movement, there are times for rest, there's times for all of this. But coming back and having connection with yourself, being able to hear the messages that we're receiving
Yeah,
takes
and just to have
that.
just one thing, like you pay attention to one thing, not 100 things.
Yes.
Yeah, like you said that you're talking about 1,000 things within 20 minutes instead of talk about one. Like pick one, to learn to pick
Wow.
one subject that is the most important at that moment. Uh, that might be that practice to start with. What is the most important thing for me right now? And it might not be my hard thing. Maybe it's I'm hungry.
Right.
Just
Right.
like pay attention that at that moment, what the heck is the most important thing for you?
And as intuitive that as that would seem, people don't know when they're hungry. That's why we have obesity in this world. People don't
Yep.
know when they're sad. A lot of my clients eat for emotion. You can find one that you can eat in excess if that's what is important to you, but I see it all the time. Find something outside of me that'll soothe the fact that I'm not respecting my body. So yes, slow down. Maybe there's a window of a 5 to 7 minute practice. You set your intention before you go into it and say, okay, this is, coming back into your heart and saying, this is what I need to know. I've used Kurt's practice now where I had to scan my body. And in the beginning, it was immediate because I was like, whoop, and I could see it. But what I was missing, even though I could see it, what I was missing is a connection. I wasn't just searching for something. I was connecting to those parts of me that may have been somehow misaligned, or I gave too much of this, or I didn't give myself enough of this, or something in my body that needed to come back into balance. So another thing our culture has become so accustomed to, which has caused whole dopamine nervous system, vagus nerve dysfunctions, is that we need instantaneous gratification for everything. And
Yeah,
we
and
don't know
solution and
we
stuff.
don't. But what we have to know, there's something more. You know, that's like when you think about this, one of the reasons why I was doing this course on self-love. Really, what it really means is that there's more to you.
You see something, which is like when you do it the first time, it's awesome, and then when you realize that you actually have a say in what's going to happen there. Because
Yes.
that's what we need to like really realize, that it's not just that I see that something is there. It's like I can do something about it, and I don't have to wait for or
Yes.
find other people
And you
or
don't
other
have to
things.
always have an action. It's not always an actionable thing. Like this morning, just in my thoughts, that the two of you were in my thoughts, and then all of a sudden it manifests that I'm on this call. So if it's aligned with our higher selves and it's meant to be for our good, I trust that the universe will put it in front of us. And sometimes it's, you know, discerning.
And also, if you when you were talking about diet and stuff, it just popped in my mind, and I just found it interesting, the dynamics of when we eat and drink, because when you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. When
Yes.
you're hungry, you're already missing something. So maybe to learn to eat before you get like hungry, and so you give yourself things that makes you run before you get to the point when the fuel is out, just by changing
100%.
that energetics of it, that can change your whole freaking life, because of the formula that you're using, that I'm getting everything that I need before I get to the part that I need it.
Yes,
That I that
that's what
I
causes the whole nervous system dysregulation, because
I
people
believe so, yeah.
are in a culture of starving themselves to this intermittent fasting has been taken to a whole new level where people, you know, they're eating at 6 o'clock at night. And I'm like, well, 6 o'clock at night, your body at 7 it's dark, you're shutting down. If your emotion is out of alignment and you don't know how to calm or soothe that, you will turn to food or drink. We're not at all taking the time to sit in the awareness of, oh, how's my day? You know, how am I? And what do I need at this moment? You know, how can I come back into myself and realign this? Just like we take our cars to be aligned. We fill our gas tanks up
Exactly,
before
yeah.
we drive, right?
And people get fatty because they're eating all the junk food. It's like also when I don't have my soul food, when I
Yes.
can I live myself, therefore I pay attention to everything else. So I will need to put up these walls to not be seen, or I don't want to see it. So I don't want, yeah. And then I
Yes.
just grow and grow because I don't have the right food to my soul, and therefore to my body as well.
Is nurturing ourselves. There's so many, especially women today. We're in a culture that we want to prove that we're as strong and capable as men. We're not. We're different than men. We have our own journey in this world. And so we're trying to prove something to this world while we're still possibly creating life. We're having a baby, we're working hard, we're coming home, we're doing all these things, we're exhausted. We have no nourishment for ourselves. And then the love that we want from or should be able to receive and give freely from our partners, we have no more energy for. And that's that feeding ourselves, because I believe our focus as humans is so much more on the external. Get your education, buy a bigger home, drive a nicer car, have nicer clothes, buy more this, buy more that. So it's not what we're here for. We're here to relate to one another and be of service. And that's more rewarding than anything we're ever going to buy externally.
And play
And
enjoy
play.
it.
Yes, we need play. We need fun.
This is what people need.
Get in is it the peanut one?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Get your Captain Crunch, Kurt.
Oh my God.
I've been to sugar them parties that last too long. I've seen a lot of them parties party till they was long. I never thought Baby, what do you say we cruise on? I like cruising.